Today's episode is brought to you by Bark Technologies. Bark is a parental control phone monitoring app that helps keeps kids safe online. Follow the link in the show notes to get more information and a special promotion for you, the backseaters. Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And across from me in our back room / recording studio / our daughter's bedroom and
they're deaders.
They're deaders, and our cat's den is my lovely wife, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey there.
Happy Tuesday to you, everybody. It is Monday in our world, but we are from the past. We are the ghost of Christmas past, here to haunt you. And, for whatever you're doing right now. Maybe you're in the car. Maybe you're on the treadmill. What do people do when they listen? Dishes. I bet we have a big dishes population.
Or dinner.
Making dinner. You are maybe you're in the car, but the car's not driving because you just dropped somebody off.
You gotta get out,
and you just gotta take a deep breath, and you just gotta.
We had a really fun conversation with Patreon yesterday about.
Melissa, what's Patreon? I'm not familiar.
Well, Dustin.
Patreon.
With Patreon, you can give a little more and get a little more.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good little slogan.
Mm-hmm. So yesterday was our monthly Zoom hang.
Which is the feature for our patrons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we've also got not free, but cameos with Dustin. We've got video greetings. We've got merch items that we send our patrons.
We've got meet and greets.
At shows. And we've also got the Nickerson Christmas
which
card
is coming up.
And
so yesterday we were doing the Zoom hang.
Yeah, and you had a great question that you asked everyone, which was what are your favorite podcasts?
Other than Don't Make Me Come Back There. That's a given.
Right. But it was really interesting. That's a really good question. And you really get to know someone.
This is such proof that Melissa doesn't get to talk to a lot of adults.
I don't mingle a lot.
I come up with a pretty middle of the road icebreaker.
Yeah, I'm blown away.
And Melissa is staggered.
Yeah.
At the thoughtfulness of that question, and and was saying and I would say you spent more time talking about how good of a question that was than your actual podcast.
I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket for the next time I mingle, which is probably going to be at my birthday in June.
It'll be the next Zoom hang, and they'll be like,
I'll be back.
Anyone who wasn't on that Zoom hang has to answer that one, and Melissa will know.
I'll be ready.
Yeah, you really are. I could tell that, which is funny because I asked you to prep for it.
I tried.
I was like, can you come up with some questions? And I came up with one question, and it took the majority.
I know. I didn't think of questions. I thought topics.
Right.
But I couldn't follow what are your favorite podcasts?
Listen, I got the gift of gab.
Yeah.
Is what they say.
So, little icebreaker. It was fun.
It was a good time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into that. Also, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Maybe you saw me at a marriage conference this last week in Dallas, or maybe you saw me at a staff event yesterday in Vacaville, California. I don't think you would have followed my podcast if you saw me at Saturday's event, but maybe you did. No one. It's amazing how many people come up to you and ask you your name after events. It's just why it's why when I open for Taylor, you have cards, because they only hear your name when you're introduced.
And they weren't paying attention.
Of course not. No. All they hear is not Taylor. I think I've told you that I've been opening those shows going, oh, I know, I'm disappointed. I go, oh, I didn't know there was an opener either.
Amazing.
Yeah. So anyways.
Comedy it's not like a concert where you're like, we'll show up late. Like, you got to be there.
Yeah, people have no idea what's happening.
But
people have no idea what to expect in the format of a comedy show. None. And I think even less so in a theater. So
so independent.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, because Willie Nelson is coming to the Balboa in October, and I like Willie Nelson, but my dad really likes Willie Nelson, and I talked myself into it, and then thinking about when to get there, how long we
Where
would
to
be
park.
there before. Well, we would take an Uber, which that's perfect place to take an Uber.
That is a common reason why people don't do stuff downtown.
Right, exactly. But absolutely. But I'm just taking from my own.
Yeah.
When to get there? Is there going to be openers? Would my dad be unhappy about the openers? How late's the show going to go? How good of seats do we need to get? His comfort level.
Yeah.
And within 30 seconds, I talked myself out of it.
Yeah,
because I also in my life
checks out.
have never known my dad to ever go to a concert or really show any interest in going to a concert. So why?
He loves music, but I think he appreciates it on his own terms.
He likes to sit in a backyard with his Bose headphones on and soak up the sun as he listens to "Soak Up the Sun" by Sheryl Crow.
Yes.
He does like Sheryl Crow. He was, Anyways, what I can tell you is that Dustin Nickerson shows are probably going to start on time, and I'm probably going to be on about 30 minutes into the show. But just come anyways, because comedy clubs aren't like that. You got to come to those.
You need to get seats.
Exactly. So there'll be seats available.
You get the good ones.
But that being said, I do have some upcoming shows. On October 6th, I'm going to be in Indianapolis at Helium Comedy Club. First time playing that club.
Coming up.
And then November 17th, I'm going to be at the Improv in Milwaukee. November 18th, I'm going to be at the Improv in Chicago. And December 5th, I'm going to be at Bricktown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City. Also, here's this is just for podcast listeners. Nobody else is going to hear this yet. I got to confirm this date right here. I believe it's November 3rd. Correct. November 3rd, I'm going to be at the San Francisco Punchline in San Francisco. Tickets on sale very soon. That one that's not a huge club. It's so we might do okay there. I would recommend buying tickets somewhat early on that one.
Awesome.
Plus, they're going to be more expensive at the door. So, save yourself $2 by getting them in advance. That's what she said. It's going to be $22 general admission and $30 reserve tickets, and then a $2 per day show of increase on GA tickets.
That's general admission, everyone.
Yeah, I think they all got that one.
I'm just kidding.
We have a lot to talk about today, and it's Dustin's in charge day. So I have a flurry of topics to talk to you about.
You killed it yesterday on the Patreon Zoom. Just keep going.
First off, we are here to talk about our favorite show that just won all the Emmys, Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Now, I say this is our favorite show because it's heartwarming, and it is warming. I feel my temperature goes up during it. It's heartfelt. It's very touching. It's great. I was texting Taylor about it. I've been recommending the show for a year or whatever to Taylor.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then finally she caved in and she said, like, this show has no business being this good. Like, I'm crying over a pass. It's like, I know, it's great. It's so good. But it's also our favorite show by default because we're watching no other shows.
Exactly.
I don't think
and we're still watching it so slowly. We're a little behind. We've actually only seen 3 episodes in total from either season. 2 from season 1, 1 from season 2. We're all over the place. It doesn't make sense to us, but you tried to get Steven into it.
Yeah. Well, Steven's like me in that if he didn't get into it originally.
Steven has The Simpsons memorized.
That's true. Steven also has like actual sports that are still entertaining, unlike Seattle sports fan.
Yeah.
Me and
he's got
Padres are out of it.
Yeah.
He also has little babies, and he also he sends me a lot of selfies while he's going to the bathroom.
I haven't unfortunately seen those. Is it uploading, downloading? I've seen that one. Sorry, Steven.
Steven's still the funniest part of this podcast, and he's not even on it. It's actually funnier when we just say his things and we don't have to deal with him. It's a real it's a hygiene issue with him. Like, usually with one person you get BO or breath, and let me tell you, with Steven, the 2 negatives do not become a positive.
Maybe an intervention's in order.
The BO to breath does not meet in the air and turn into something nice. It is.
It's disgusting, Dustin.
Steven smells like poison. Steven smells like something that, I wore a mask around him long before the pandemic. Any new listeners, Steven is the producer of this podcast and former co-host.
Mm-hmm.
But COVID fired him. He got furloughed. It's not true. He got less responsibility and the same amount of money. So
we had to let him go.
We got comfortable in our beanbag chairs at home. And
no,
you know what's funny is I during the pandemic, I finally took to uploading files because it can be slow and clunky. And I had to do and so I'd be like, you know what? Steven doesn't live that far. I'm just going to manually drive the jump drive over.
I remember that because I did it once during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I heard Macklemore's song about the past days.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
And did it hit you that those were the good old days?
Good old days. Yeah, it totally hit me because it was like day 4 of the pandemic.
Yeah, we were emotionally pretty heavy into it pretty quick.
And then after that drive, we were like, oh, we'll just upload these. We'll use the internet.
It's not hard. Yeah, we came around. It's just
possibilities.
A little slow. That's all. It's a little clunky. But
we all had to adjust.
We're enjoying Ted Lasso, and we've been talking about Ted Lasso for a reason. Steven's an idiot on this, and he's wrong. But I'm glad to see it get so many awards and so much fanfare.
Now, I do have a question. I don't know if this makes sense. But do you think, like, the really, really, like, sports fan likes Ted Lasso? Because, like, it is loosely a show about soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the stereotype of, like, the sports fan. The sports fan, and I guess they toy on that edge of, like, Ted Lasso doesn't want to believe the psychologist or you know, like, he feels pressure.
I think the diehard sports fan who can't take anything,
like the warm and fuzzies.
No. Everybody has things that they can't laugh about, and they need to take less seriously. For some people, that thing is sports. I would probably say that might be the case of someone like Stephen English, who can't enjoy the show because he can't sign off on the premise that a football coach got assigned to coach a soccer team, which is the premise of the show.
Right.
That's the whole premise of the show.
That's a silly...
That's the set, and it's a ridiculous thing that would never happen. But also, it's a TV show. Also,
all of it is fake.
He watches Futurama. I know this is turning into a Stephen bashing session, but Stephen here is kind of there is a person like him, and that's who doesn't like the show, the people who can't get beyond the premise. And I love sports, but even when I played sports, and even now, like, I get like, I'm not like super invested into it,
Into sports.
Yeah,
well, I would say it's...
I can't be. I'm a Seattle sports fan. We suck at everything, or we get good and we don't win. I would be the most miserable person on the planet if I was fully invested into these things.
Never winning. It's like the kids watching What If.
Yeah.
Like,
gosh.
They're like, what? Why this would never happen?
The Marvel What If on Disney Plus is their series that they're doing right now.
And we watch it together, and they've gotten a little better about it, but they had such a hard time going with the premise.
Do other parents do what I do? Do you think, do they pause the show like 10 times an episode to rebuke the children?
No.
Okay.
No. A lot of people don't care about most of the things that you care about when it comes to TV and movie watching. If there's one thing our children take away from their childhood is you cannot crack your knuckles during a movie. Oh my
gosh.
That's what they're going to walk away with. Like, what values did your dad instill in you?
They do it every time we watch a movie. I know how to do a lot of things as a dad. I don't know how to teach my kids to be more considerate. I don't know how to teach any human, for that matter, to go, hey, for a second, just real quick before you do anything, just be mindful of those around you. Think about how your actions might affect another person. In other words, we're sitting here watching a movie, and you are 4 inches away from your father's ears. Please, at the heart of the dialogue, do not crack every knuckle you have in your feet and your toes. Please don't use your toe knuckles to crack your finger knuckles as you roll your neck. They do it every time. Gloria has started now, which is funny.
She'll crack before.
Melissa, it's literally the only time they crack their knuckles. I never hear them do it any other time in life. They just sit down and get to cracking. And now they try and do it secretly instead of just leaving the room. They'll like do it under the blanket. I was like, I wish we didn't have an Apple TV so we had a bigger remote I could throw at you. That's what I want. It just drives me up. Listen, you can't say anything because this is the only time that I'm like this, and then you're like that every other time of the day. Melissa has to play music at the dinner table because she can't stand listening to anyone in the family chew. Do you guys know that I eat cereal in a different room away from Melissa? I go away from her. If I'm eating something crunchy, I have not chewed something with confidence around Melissa in 10 years.
That's not true. We just ate avocado toast and we didn't have any music on.
I know, and I was away from you. I didn't sit at the table.
We were in different rooms.
And I very like I don't bite into the toast that hard. I'm not eating that the way that I want to. Otherwise,
wow. I'll be honest, the pandemic made it worse for me.
Yeah.
The food, chewing, and then all of our kids have allergies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always congested.
Well, yeah, you have and two of them have braces. They eat like
poor babies.
They eat like cartoon dogs do. Look at Donnie poked up.
The cat's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. But I wonder why it drives me so crazy. I think it's just I like watching movies, and that ruins it.
It ruins it for you.
I know, but you grew up with a family that'll straight up talk over movies.
Yeah, but we never watched a movie like a sit down, lights off.
Yeah.
Like if someone would walk in the room like 10 times while you're watching a show and just casually comment on it.
Yeah.
But not sit down and watch it.
Usually in a demeaning way, right?
Yeah. We weren't a media family at all.
I don't want to say I'm trying to make my kids like me, but I do think that the way that I consume content like that is more considerate of other people. And,
I think
their
right.
taste and their desire and how they watch it. I like to have like movie theater rules essentially, which is like
that was your first job.
Well, I mean that's not related, but the
No, but you like movies. You like the movie going experience.
Everybody likes movies, but I'm just saying.
My family didn't.
Yeah, that's true. No, but we would go on Christmas, or was that when I showed up?
Pretty much when you showed up. When Lord of the Rings came out.
It's you paid money, you're making a sacrifice, you're sitting down. People, please send us emails at dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com to tell me about your family's movie and TV watching etiquette, because I do quirky. If we're watching a show with commercials, I'll pause. I like muting during the commercials so we can all talk then.
That's what.
And if somebody has
remember, I asked you to do that.
And that was my idea.
No,
you're wrong.
No.
And if somebody has something to say, they can go question, and I'll pause it, and we'll discuss. That's fine. To not understand something is totally fine, but you're wrong about the commercial thing. I can see whether I'm not. There's no way one of us could prove this the other one way or the other, but we'll both know in our hearts that we're right. I originated it, and I've done that for a long time, and also, but sometimes I won't do it, and then you'll ask me to do it. That's what you're remembering. Is that
you're blurring this? How could you take full credit for something that when we've been together for 20 years watching commercials together?
It's my thing. It's always been my thing.
No, I don't like people talking over commercials, so I'd rather that they be muted so I can focus.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't focus with the TV on, and
or
like if we're watching a football game, I'm like, let's mute it.
If the radio turns to talk on you can't. You just turn that off anyway. But I have ADHD, so I'm just living in that world all the time.
You always have commercials playing in your
head. So anyways, that being said, Ted Lasso, great. I'm happy it's doing very well and that people are getting into it, and it makes you like TV, and it makes you feel good that art and entertainment can encourage people and be, can make a positive impact on the world. Yeah.
Well, and they've like covered some pretty heavy topics too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anytime you have a main character that, that is like cool and full of hope, but also has a bunch of holes in them, is just a good thing. So
yeah.
So, real quick, this is not going to be a smooth transition into our ad. I just have to tell you a story.
Okay.
So, if you guys aren't familiar with Bark, Bark Technology is a parental control phone monitor app that helps keep kids safe online. And we have it for multiple devices in our home, including our son's phone. Yes. And he got his first severe flag yesterday. It sends you a little alerts when something on their phone is potentially harmful or dangerous.
We both get them.
Exactly.
Via text.
Yeah.
Email.
It sends you stuff for like adult content or cyberbullying, sexual predators, profanity, suicidal ideation, threats of violence, etc. And he got his first one, and it was so funny. And it came from a text that I sent him. Actually, a text that he sent from me. We were talking about the Seahawks, and he said, and he meant to say, "We're getting smoked." And what he did say is, "We'll get smokes."
Oh, I did see that.
And that was the context for Joel's first
flag.
First severe flagging.
Joel's getting smokes.
And I told you all along he's been smoking, but you didn't know it was between me and him. Stuff like that does make me feel very good. I would rather our kids be over safe, than the opposite there. So again, if you guys aren't familiar,
there's such a relief. You're like, okay,
yeah,
phew.
And it's not that they're not spying. They're they're keeping an eye out on different things. We don't see everything. We don't see the majority of it actually, and we only see, the things that are potentially worrisome.
Yeah, alarming. And
it does other things as well, not just monitor their phones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different
you can
devices,
set
Chromebooks.
up schedules for like when screen time is on or off, or bedtime screens are off. And you can also turn off websites that you want your kids on, like on their iPad or TV or whatever. Yeah.
I think that, I don't know that they would ever say this, so I'm projecting a little bit. I think that our kids are glad they have it. I think the kids know the internet is dangerous.
I think they do.
I think
I think in 20 years they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Well, that they were safeguarded.
What I'm saying is, those kids go to school, and those kids are in our home, so they know that they have limitations on things, and that is a good thing. Yeah. Even if, and they're kind of used to it at this point, and so we're big fans of Bark Technologies. And if you guys are, for you backseaters here, we have a free 7-day trial and 15% off the life of your subscription if you use promo code Don't Make Me. That's all one word, promo code Don't Make Me, no apostrophe, for a free 7-day trial and 15% off the life of your subscription. Bark Technologies,
making the internet.
I'm waiting for you.
Safer.
Keeping kids safe online.
I got there. Keeping kids safe online. There we go.
Okay, moving along.
A little off today.
So this last weekend, I did a silly long. It wasn't really that long. It was just kind of old school.
Quite a run.
Every once in a while in comedy, before you're famous, I shouldn't even say before, if you're not famous, is you have money-making weekends, which is you go do a series of private events that nobody knows about. And they aren't
off the radar.
They aren't particularly artistically fulfilling. You run some old hits. You're just a pro. You just go in and you do your job. And that's what I did 4 times at 3 different events this last weekend. One outside of Dallas, 2 when that first one was in Rockwell, Texas, and then outside of Phoenix, and then in Vacaville. And I'll tell you, there wasn't a mask in sight in these 3 cities.
Business as usual.
Yeah, exactly, for what you would expect of these areas of the country. So, but while I was gone, In addition to texting Joel, which parenting is hard. I've realized as your son gets older, and maybe like you're like me, and that your maturity is probably somewhere flatlined around a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, that, texting your kid memes and having it on playing fantasy football. I mean, it's not that hard to make connections with him.
No, you guys connect.
Joel and I have
really easily right now.
Joel and I have a lot in common, is why.
Yeah,
we have a lot of similar interests. But you took to a few, dare I say, festive activities.
Yes.
In my absence, one, the kids demanded Halloween decorations, and got hyped it led to an injury, I believe.
Yep.
Which tells you a lot about our kids.
Yes. So the Halloween decorations have been taken out. We are an indoor Halloween decorating family.
Right.
Pretty limited. Just, some pumpkins and bright colored things here and there. We don't do like an outdoor thing. Which is a lot of people around our neighborhood do.
Not on our street, though.
Awesome.
We live on a busy street.
Yeah,
we do.
There's so many decorations. We don't need to add any.
We have a pretty solid Christmas decoration
and
set
that's
up
what
here.
I tell the kids. Like, there's only so much room to store these decorations.
Right.
We go hard on the Christmas decor.
Right.
So they got out the bin, and it's fun. It's a ways out, but we're gathering our costumes.
Not that far out.
You got to order your costumes on Amazon now.
Yeah.
So they come in time and all that. So
you're Cruella.
Yep.
I'm Donkey Kong.
Yep.
Played by Seth Rogen in the Mario movie. Did you see this hot take?
Oh yes,
everyone's furious that Chris Pratt is Mario. Furious.
Yes, I saw someone say like, pick any of the other Chris's.
Oh well, yeah. But I thought people were mad because he's not Italian.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Which is funny because Sebastian's in it. Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian. I was like, have him be Mario. He's like the most Italian dude ever.
Chris Pratt does do a lot of voice work, though.
He does, yeah. I mean, Lego Movie, he's...
Onward?
Yeah. Well,
There's a lot. Yeah.
I think it's funny because the internet always gets mad at Chris Pratt, and then every project he makes $1 billion.
And they'll go see it, yeah.
So Twitter may not like him, but everybody else in the world...
Like the general population is going to go...
They're like, this guy's great. This guy's so funny.
He's
been goofy and silly for a long time,
Yeah.
He just might think homosexuality is a sin, so people get mad at that. But it is funny, like they, people freak out over that kind of stuff, and but like, who knows what they're doing? Studios.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they have like market research, and they, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They have their budgets, and they go after the big people that.
So I didn't get cast.
Movies.
I didn't get cast for that, but but I'm going to be that for Halloween. Maybe that'll be the joke I'll post. I'm being Seth Rogen for Halloween.
Because you were Chris Pratt last year.
Oh, I am. That's funny. Yeah,
Star-Lord.
Yeah. The year before I was, what am I talking about? The year before, Claire's going to be Diddy Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria allegedly is going to be a Powerpuff Girl. Who knows how that's going to shake out?
Yeah,
she's got some pretty shaky friends group situation.
Like a group costume.
Friends, a group costumes.
I never. Well, maybe I did once.
Yeah,
pulled off a group costume.
Have we ever paired up? We were last year. We did. We were Star-Lord and Gamora.
Sometimes we do.
What other time? We were candy corn together.
We were candy corn.
And maybe this will be the first time I post that picture publicly.
It's so funny.
It's the worst costume in history. Yeah.
So funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were like 19, and you were like, "Let's be candy corn."
Uh-huh.
And we have never been to an adult Halloween party. We were running a youth group.
Right.
And so we wore those outfits to the youth group bowling party.
Yeah. And you just got felt.
The night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got white, yellow, and orange felt. And I sewed us jumpsuits.
They're great.
Like candy corn.
Do you think that they were bad costumes, or they were just ridiculous?
I think they were ridiculous, which we are ridiculous.
Yeah, we are ridiculous human beings.
But high schoolers are like a little too cool for that sort of ridiculous.
Yes.
And you were their youth pastor.
So we got made fun of a lot. Yeah.
They did not go over well.
Yeah.
We thought we were hilarious.
I thought it was still hilarious. I think it would be if we wore them again, Melissa. I think we should do it again this year.
I have to sew those again. They're very easy to sew.
I saw you have some candy corn in the cupboard.
I do.
When did you pick that up?
Yeah. Over the weekend.
Yeah.
You're switching topics on me. So
how did I switch topics? We had candy corn.
Halloween.
Yeah, candy corn is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell you our last
before you
Halloween
do,
costume.
Let me give you a tip. This is a candy corn eating
okay.
tip. If you're going to serve that candy corn, could you please do it in a Munchie Mug?
Wow, Munchie Mug is perfect for Halloween.
Munchie Mug is so perfect for candy. You saw that one coming. That was pretty obvious.
No, I just wanted to tell you one more Halloween story.
Okay, hold that till after the Munchie Mug pitch.
Yeah.
Pitch. Guys, if you want... I wouldn't put candy corn in a Munchie Mug, only that it's probably going to be a waste of the Munchie Mug and that your kid's never going to eat the candy corn. If you're just going to store some candy corn, don't use a Munchie Mug.
You're not a fan of candy corn.
Nobody really likes candy corn. There's a year in between that everyone forgets they don't really care for it. Don't mention the pumpkins. The pumpkins are different.
That's true. I like the colors of candy corn. From a design perspective, it's nice.
If you guys have things that you don't want to spill, though, like good candy,
caramel corn,
Skittles, caramel corn, which Melissa was eating right before this because I had a big M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms,
crunchy. Is that it?
Pretzel M&Ms.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. I thought we were doing M&M's theme there, but I couldn't.
Sidestepped.
Almond M&Ms. Coffee M&Ms. They make the coffee
mint.
One.
They make a mint M&M.
M&Ms. Those like weird holiday M&Ms that are kind of eggs. Any M&Ms that you don't want to... Mini M&Ms that you don't want spilt.
You do not want
Munchie Mug, guys. Munchie Mug is it's the best spill-proof cup on the market. All you do is you put that stuff in there, and that's not coming out. It's got a nice little fabric lid. It's dishwasher safe. It comes in a variety of colors. Mm-hmm. And if you guys go to munchiemug.com and use promo code Don'tMakeMe, the same promo code from earlier, that's what we do. We unify with our sponsors. One promo code, Don't Make Me, one word, no apostrophe. You're going to get 25% off your entire order. Munchiemug.com. Making life less messy. Gosh, you guys, Melissa, between me and you guys, Melissa's a little trash on this. Just between me and you guys. She can't hear this.
You've already made fun of Steven.
I have this little feature on here. You know what? I had a busy weekend, and I'm coming home a little snarky. You like it. Anyways, you had a Halloween story to tell. Man.
Oh, well, our other duo costume, that was intense.
The pastors, the megachurch
we did a mega church pastor.
Well, wasn't it? Like it was that prosperity. Televangelist. Yeah, we were televangelists.
That was also a youth group costume. Yeah. I think that went over a little bit better.
Yeah, that was a hit.
Corn.
That was a hit. That's right. Because we would do the big. Was it on Halloween? We would do a bowling event.
Yeah, right. Pretty much on Halloween.
Yeah.
And I bought like foundation, so your face was like orange.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we put like silver and white in your hair.
Yeah.
And then I beefed up your eyebrows.
You had
they're all black.
Incredible amount of makeup on.
I had a ton of orangey foundation and blush and eyeshadow on. And then I wore a wig.
Yeah.
And then we had fake money in our pockets. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Making a real statement in our youth.
I know. I feel like you had a pinstripe suit too.
No, I had a black suit with a golden or a silver tie or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had
and I carried around some holy water.
Red dress. Oh, I was pregnant with Joel.
That's right.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Whew.
Other fall activities, I believe you did some caramel apples, which I think is the first time you've done that I know of. I don't know. I'm gone a lot.
Well, okay. So Claire is not. She's not doing an activity right now.
No.
Like an extracurricular.
We're waiting for this cough to fade a little.
Yeah, we have to keep her kind of low key.
Right.
So I am trying to do something on the weekends with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went to the little nature center.
Yeah, the
last
nature preserve.
weekend.
Yeah.
So I was like, to caramel apples, right? That's this weekend. That's what we're gonna do. And so, like, kids don't really like green apples. Let's be honest.
Nobody likes green apples. They're absolute trash. They're okay in a salad. Green apples are so bad.
They're sour.
Green apples are so bad that they had to pair them with caramel, which is the sweetest thing on the planet.
Yeah, so it's tangy and sweet.
And you know what's fine without an apple? Caramel.
Yeah, a sweet apple, you don't need caramel.
No. I remember when I grew up going to the Washington State Fair. You know, now the Puyallup, or you say then the Puyallup Fair. It will always be the Puyallup Fair. Macklemore performed there, and he referred to it as the Puyallup Fair, which was a dig, knowing that like anybody who grew up in the Northwest knows that's not the Washington State Fair. That's the Puyallup Fair. Let that be what it is.
So the state of Washington was like, you know what? This is so famous. We're going to take this.
Who knows? I don't know. You know,
Puyallup
what kind
doesn't get the credit.
Movers and shakers there was, you know,
just a little town in south of Tacoma.
If Mount Rainier blows, it's gone. We've always said that.
It's not south of Tacoma, but
it's like east of Tacoma.
I digress.
Yeah. But anyways, they always had caramel apples there right where we would walk in, the gate that we would walk in.
Okay.
And they kept getting more elaborate.
Yes.
They'd be like coconut, like caramel and coconut, and caramel and mini M&Ms.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of them.
All these different things.
Candy on the brain.
And I would always be like, oh gosh, I'd rather get scones and I'd rather get an elephant ear, but they look so good. And you know, that was the thing. You would always get like one ridiculous sweet while you're there. Yeah. And one year I got it. And now the outer bites were incredible. But then you're left with a dumb apple. Then you just have an apple on a stick.
A huge green apple.
Just a huge green apple. There's no flavor on the. It's like butter when there's only on the top of the popcorn. It's a bad design. How do you get the caramel from the inside?
Okay,
were you doing dips or what were you doing?
That's what we did.
You got to do the dipping.
We cut up the apples.
Now you're talking.
And then, like, if you want caramel to stick to an apple, you have to put it in the fridge and like chill it for a while.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of that.
No.
We just cut up apples and made caramel sauce, and then we had the mini M&Ms and some various other toppings.
It sounded like it took
Chopped
8 minutes
nuts.
to prepare.
Yeah, well, she actually didn't eat that much of it. The other kids appreciated it.
This was the big activity.
This was it.
There was no baking. There was no chili.
You know what?
You didn't have to get out the little baking paper.
She did. Claire is not.
You just melted some caramel in the microwave and cut up an apple, which is something you do every day. You just did a little more than preparing lunches. You made
last night I was like, oh, look at these cut up apples.
You made it seem like that was this huge elaborate.
It's a thing, babe. It's a thing. You wish you had been here.
Like you were baking a pie together.
Claire did stir a little bit.
I could have been there. I could have waited 8 minutes later to take my flight and would have been here for the preparation of the caramel apples.
You just wish you were here for it. You're just jealous.
Someone's got to go make money to go pay for those mini M&Ms. I know this activity really set us back. I can't believe how small it was because you've talked about it so much. You put it on the calendar.
I told you, Dustin, you don't know how hard it is to actually execute something.
You just put some caramel in a glass bowl.
Well, you didn't.
You didn't have to buy anything.
Yes, I did.
We already had all the stuff here. You made it seem like it was so big.
Oh, yeah. Dustin.
Okay, we got caramel apples on Saturday. You could have done this on a commercial break.
Well, I brought. Okay, you're missing the point. Okay, I made a basket that I brought to my friend whose kid has COVID.
Oh, now you gotta get heart.
No, I did.
I know you did that.
We packed all the supplies and we made the sauce.
Now you're
and we
making
sent
me
it
feel
over.
bad. I stand by my laughter.
That's fine. You can laugh about it. Instead, you were in Vacaville.
Well, and I came home and, obviously you didn't get your fill of the caramel corn because you hit that caramel popcorn that I got.
I had
brought
like
home
10 pieces.
Yeah, well, there's only like 30 pieces.
Well, I'm pretty tired.
I don't know if you've ever had caramel corn, but it's pretty good.
So good.
Okay. That's just too funny.
Man.
While I was gone, I really had to slouch it this trip because I was not flying Delta.
Yeah.
Normally I fly Delta. This is just a stupid aside right now for people who care about travel. Normally I fly Delta. There are a few markets, the Bay Area, like NorCal, Texas, Phoenix. I always take Southwest. Those are the three. Sometimes direct to Nashville because I like a direct flight these days. And
Sure.
And it's more important to me than the upgrades or whatever. But the one downside there is usually all my meals are kind of built in.
Yeah.
Through the Delta thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Delta Lounge, and they give you more food on the plane and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was eating at Starbucks a lot, and a couple times I did cheat on you, and I got one of the pumpkin cold brews, which are incredible. And I was thinking about this. The other day. Like, I feel so bad for like dudes that had such bad fathers that they can't act like those are delicious. That's like an old trope that existed like 10, 15 years ago. Like, pumpkin spice is for chicks, bruh.
Or like a latte. Or just like a foo-foo.
Like a foo-foo.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you don't listen, I couldn't. If you put a pumpkin spice latte in front of me right now, I couldn't finish it. Way too sweet for me.
Right.
But that pumpkin spice cold brew thing is ridiculously good.
It's so good.
So freaking good. It's not even that sweet. This isn't a commercial for. But I just feel. But
I did not pay for this.
I was with a comic recently who I ordered that, and he kind of did that little jeer, and I'm like, stop it. This tastes so good.
It's cloud foam and it's delicious.
Which it's funny that dudes have this old thing where you just want to be like, do you like pumpkin pie?
Right.
Do you like ice cream? How come it's okay to eat
Candy
sweet
bar?
things, but you can't drink a sweet thing? Yeah, if I put a Butterfinger in front of you right now, you're going to be like, that's so wussy, man. Only girls like sweets.
Yeah. It's something with drinks.
Only broads like sugar. Everybody likes sugar. Everybody. Like
it's just when it's in drink form, it has to be masculine.
Yeah. Yeah, this has to taste bad. We drink black coffee. All right, we drink I don't drink sweet cocktails or anything like that. I don't like this.
I don't need it.
There's certain things though you just have to get rid of that old dumb trope. I'm sorry your dad didn't hug you. I'm sorry that you weren't allowed to watch 90210 and he shamed you one time. Whatever it may be.
Right.
Maybe you liked Clarissa Explains It All and your dad lectured you and told you had to watch Home Improvement. I don't know what happened in your childhood, but
I got one.
These are delicious. What's yours?
What if you wore pink pants to a dance?
What if you were... Hey.
I'm kidding.
Listen, when you are dating a hot older girl from a different school and debuting her at your school,
you'll wear pink pants.
You'll match the part. I thought it was a pretty good outfit. That's a thing that even in our lifetime, they're like, really, pink pants? And now you walk into any store.
That was true at our wedding, too.
Yeah.
You had the pink tie.
Yeah.
And now you can wear floral ties. No big deal.
Get over it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had a good dad, and we came from a heavily masculine family. For goodness sakes, my grandpa ran an illegal poker room, in his house. And my dad is a carpenter and a union worker. I play sports. I like whatever dude things that you need. Whatever. It's so stupid. It's so over the top. I get that.
Just get a cold brew with the pumpkin spice foam.
It's okay to send an emoji. It's okay. It's you know what? Emojis pretty fun and actually sometimes pretty helpful in communicating.
Yeah.
Helps you get the right tone across.
Yeah.
So you don't come across
just a word.
like an arsehole like you always do. Because you only wear Carhartt and you think this is what it means to
be a huge truck.
You can have a huge truck. I like your huge truck. That's cool.
Yeah.
But you can also, you know what you can do in that? You can drink a pumpkin spice cold brew in there. No one is impressed by this. You can have a gun and send the water gun emoji. You can have both of those things. It's okay. And even if you don't want to, that's fine. You're not better than other people that do. Let them send their silly emojis.
Right.
Let them, you're not... I don't know where this rant is coming from, but I hate it so much. And it just came from
I didn't even think of it.
It's
that makes sense.
People in my comments a lot of the time, I'll get that like, this is like a soy beta male, you know, and they like, because I'm not this like I'm like, first off, look at me. I'm not, what do you want me to?
Wow, I had no idea they would say that.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I don't read your comments.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
What they mean by that is...
like you need to be more macho?
Yeah, and you're just like, first off, I'm married to a beautiful woman. I have 3 beautiful children. I've clearly, made love at least 3 times. I'm not who you want me to be. Like, there are elements where, yeah, I am who you want to be. Like, if you want to sit down and watch sports, I'll tell you more about your team than you know. I'll run circles around you in this whatever area it is. You know, like there are certain aspects, you know, I like rock. I don't even know what these, I like country music. I don't know what they're so arbitrary.
Yeah.
But if you don't like fit all of them.
It's probably like the hunting and fishing. That would probably be.
That I don't care for. My dad took me fishing like 4 times and he's like, this doesn't seem like it's for him. But you know why I didn't like fishing?
Why?
Because I had undiagnosed ADD.
Yeah.
Fishing is a nightmare for ADHD. It's hard to think of anything worse.
Yeah.
The premise is sit there and wait. That's torture to me.
Hours.
I like semi-scolded you earlier and then later apologized because we were eating oatmeal and I didn't think you were eating it fast enough. I was like, could you please, you weren't taking the bites fast enough and I needed the activity to end. I wanted to talk to you. I was happy to talk to you, but I don't know. This is a rant again that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
It's not even an insecurity because I am actually, it's to me, okay, I just diagnosed it for myself.
Okay.
To me, those comments are coming out of a place of insecurity.
Yes.
And me, someone who is very secure in his masculinity, like which is a dumb old trope anyways. But someone who has no part of me doesn't feel like a man. I don't have any of that. When people make fun of that, I laugh at it because it's to me very silly to me. But I guess it makes me angry, and also I guess I feel if you were to strip down that a little more, I kind of feel bad for them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the general internet commenter is like, sorry, I set it up really strong. I think it's so easy. They want to be funny for the comic. And a lot of the general viewers and watchers will just do that by, being mean to the comic.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because it's just such an easy target.
That's very true. That's not what's happening in these scenarios. Internet people are just trolls. They're not trying to be funny. They're just straight up trolls. And that's not where this is coming from. And the insecurity of dudes, that's not them trying to be funny. But you are exactly right. And I said this the other day too, because somebody was in like a meet and greet with Taylor and said like something that was pretty mean, but they were trying to be funny. And I just I told her afterwards, I was like, people don't know how to be as funny as we do.
No, and they spent a lot of money to see Taylor and then get the meet and greet.
And they're nervous and they don't know what to say. But
their heart's pounding.
When I was learning how to be funny as a teenager, I was too mean. You almost didn't date me because I was too sarcastic.
Yes.
I was mean to people a lot. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was trying to be funny. And you walk that. So when people in my comments are always about my crowd work, they're like, this is crazy how you like are clever, but kind of mean, but not that mean.
And you don't lose it.
Yeah. I'm like, this is from 10 years of doing it on stage and 20 years is doing it as a human, you know?
Yeah.
Because, and I have gotten too mean on stage, and you have to be a certain kind of comic because I can't do that and then get back into my act.
No, at that point, you're not going to, the act is gone.
The act is gone. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had one last topic here that I wanted to,
okay.
The subject here just says, mom needs some tops.
Yes, I told you last week that I needed some tops.
Not box tops.
And that is the funniest expression. I don't think I'm ever going to live it down.
Melissa and I have been together 20 years.
Literally said that.
We met, is it 20 years this year we've been together?
16.
I was 16, so it's been 20 years. We've been together for 20 years.
Yeah.
This time, 20 years ago, I had decided we were already together.
Well, because we would have been going to homecoming
we
this
go to
month.
my homecoming next month. I put that picture on my binder. I can see it
that dance
vividly.
Photo.
You had that cool pink dress, and you were mad that I did you weren't mad, but you didn't care for what was kind of the style there is you wouldn't wear a tie. You would just do that little button thing on your collar in the middle.
Oh, yes.
I did that
I don't remember what that was
I
called.
did that one time, and then the next time you're like, could you just get a little tie there? And I did. And we went on a double date with Gavin and Stacy we went to my homecoming. This was the next year. I guess the pink pants was the next year. It wasn't my debut one. And I wasn't even going to that school really much at that time. I was doing the community college thing, but I had a lady who liked dances. So
did I?
So we were making our way to dances, and I was smitten and still am. But in those 20 years together, we've done a lot of shopping. One of the things that I bring to the table as a man who is comfortable in his masculinity is I don't mind shopping. I don't.
Yeah, you can even bring a pumpkin spice cold brew to that shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good time.
Yeah, and it sends you a thumbs up or a thumbs down emoji to let you know what I think of it when you send the picture.
Well, you're really good at picking stuff out for me.
No, this is what I do in a place. I go, all right, you go, well, I wear clothes. This place has clothes.
Yeah.
I'll go look at the stuff in my area, maybe grab 3 or 4 items, none of which I'll buy, but I'll look at them and maybe consider putting them on. I'll go to the clearance section. I'll make fun of some other stuff. And then by that time, you've picked out a couple things. But by the time I come back around to you, or I'll do this with Taylor when we're on the road, that's kind of the clue, like, hey, I'm done here.
Yeah.
And you go try on your things, and I'll tell you if I like them or not. Who doesn't want to have a say in these things?
Usually you do a swoop and find something better while I'm trying my stuff on.
With you, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, let's do shorter. Can we make this even skimpier? X-rated pod. Last night I did a gig, and it was for like a church staff, and they're like, all right, everybody, so they giving away all the prizes. And they were giving away a huge prize. The thing before me was a 52-inch flat screen. So I have this joke. I was looking at those prizes, realizing I should have charged more.
Yes.
It's a classic line that I don't remember when I wrote that joke, but
you do it with the mini water bottle too.
That one is the more the mini water bottle. I go, I just want to thank you guys go for going all out on the water bottle budget.
Yes.
So anyways, and they're like, all right, so everyone, you guys can take the kids out so Dustin can do his thing, and we're going to go into the kids minute. So what they were saying is they had a place to watch their kids. And I was like, I love that they were like, get the kids out of here. It's about to get X-rated. So anyways,
that's funny.
You texted, I don't mind doing the shopping stuff. But you said to me, I was surprised you wanted to go shopping because, clothes have been showing up a lot lately, and but apparently they had not been the right clothes. And you said, for the first time in 20 years, I need some tops. So we went and got you some tops. That's it. That was the entirety of that story. And then later in that day, you said Joel needed some tops too.
Yeah. Joel ran out of clothes this week, so
I just like that we're not calling them shirts anymore.
We ordered Joel some more tops.
We are ordering some tops. Well,
yep.
You guys, everybody, are the tops. Thanks for listening to this podcast,
Especially
everybody.
for making it to the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you guys so much, backseaters. Everybody, have a great week.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to that episode of Don't Make Me Come Back There, everybody. Want to give a special shout out to our Essential as Oils patrons. That is our highest tiered patrons. Thank you so much for your contribution and support of this podcast to Averill Griffiths, Jessica Sewell, Rachel Kennedy, Dave Hoagland, Damarius Diaz-Stevens, Nicole Carraz, Tiffany Payne, Farrah Journey, Dave Cox, Isaac Tarrin, Lori Amos, Carrie Teague, The Forgotten Friend Reptile Sanctuary, check them out on YouTube, and Jordan Cowan. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate, again, you and your support of this podcast. Thank you.